So I started playing drums at the age of 13, and I started. Well, actually, I started before with my father because my father is a keyboard player and guitar player, and we used to be in parties, and and actually I was singing. I know it's bad, but that is the way. And then we started playing together, and so he decided to bring me to this drum teacher, this amazing drum teacher, and from there, I studied lightly in the beginning, and then I really felt passionate with the drums, and so I studied for 5 years. And in the beginning, the first influences were cause of my teacher as well. All the fusion world, as always, there is always the metal side and the fusion side. Is like a difference in between. But so I went to the fusion side, and obviously Wackel, Colaiuta, Will Kennedy with the Yellow Jackets. So I started playing on the Yellow Jackets for a lot of time. And so basically that was my first beginning. So a lot of busy playing, and then I, because of some guys that I was playing with, I had more like a groovy influence. So guys like Steve Jordan, that is my main my favorite drummer, together with Keith Carlo. Gary Novak is one of the oldest influences I have from the Chick Corea. So from there, I started 5 years, and then I stopped and I played by myself for 7 years, just some songs, just playing whatever I wanted. And then I felt a little weird here, and so I really need some fresh air. So I left to US and I went to study to MI for 1 year, and then I stayed there for another 6 months, and that is pretty much my education side. Well, I'm playing. My main job is with Greg Howe, guitar player Greg Howe, and he has a solo career from '89. So actually, I came in 2006, and in 2007 actually, and we released an album in 2008 that is called Soundproof. That went really well, and that's my main job as of now. The most popular because it's worldwide. So, and then I work with this New York singer named Shayna Steele, and she's a singer and background singer for Rihanna now, and she used to work with John Legend. She was the lead vocalist for Moby on one of the big hits, first position in the top 10, for a long time. So she works for this great artist, and she has a solo career from few years now, and we are touring Europe with her, with David Cook on piano. There is her husband, and piano player for Greg Howe as well, and some other guys, amazing musicians. So I'm really lucky to do this, and that is probably the job that keeps me in the best spot, because I really feel comfortable playing some R&B mixed with jazz and funk and some pop music. So there's everything in between, and it feels really comfortable and natural. So I really have fun, and it never feels like working. And then in Italy I play with many bands, with many projects, like an African ensemble as well. So many influences. I have a gospel band with 8 girls, so it's not bad actually. And then I have my project. As always, there is one thing that really keeps you awake, and it's a completely other story to be the MD of a band. And my band is called Capital Strokes, and the name was actually a tribute to Tower of Power, as many can recognize. But then from there we started as a cover band just to get the sound, and now we are working on some original stuff. So we are working on an album before the end of the year. And the band is formed by 11 musicians. So it's actually really hard to be the MD and keep everything tight. And thank God I'm really passionate in this band. So every musician really felt in love for this project. So now we are a very tight band, not only for the sound, but just for the purpose to be, a busy working band with funk music, and everybody is a nice human being. So it's really nice. It's like going on camping with friends every time we have a gig. And that's pretty much. Um, yeah, the audition part is something that everybody asks me every time. It's like, how you were there? I mean, you are Italian and then you work with this guy. Basically, I was studying at MI and it was the end of the year, so I graduated. I almost graduated. It was 20 days before the graduation. And so, like, going deeply into the story, I was a friend of mine in my same building, this amazing guy, Ivan Marlov, very interesting character and an amazing player. He woke me up at 8:30 in the morning, so I was kind of angry at him because, you don't wake me up. And he was so, amazed by this post that was on Greg's website saying, we are auditioning for drummers, so forward your information. And so he was, like, you gotta do this. I was kind of, it's open to the whole US, so what's the point? I'm Italian, so why he wants to have an Italian guy? And then, I did it, and like after 1 week and a half, they brought me back. So you wanna be part of the audition? So this is the time. And I went to the audition, and I had to prepare 2 songs, and the songs were from the album Extraction with Dennis Chambers. So it was a kind of a hard challenge to be very different from Dennis, because Dennis is a legend. So if you play like Dennis, there's no way to be alive. And so I trying to find my way, and so we played. Greg was super nice from the beginning. He's a super nice guy to work with. And so it was him and Rufus Philpott, bass player from Planet X. And we played in trio for like hour and a half, just jamming and doing whatever. And so it was nice. It was very comfortable. Greg asked me, so you're leaving? And actually I was leaving like 20 days. I said, no, absolutely not. I'm not leaving. And so they called me back after 1 week, and we had another 2 hours jam. And from there it was easy, because 2 weeks later we were in the studio recording the whole album. We other guys, and it was an amazing experience, to be like completely free, and he completely trusts me every time. So all the drum parts are up on me, so he doesn't give me he doesn't force me on on the drum parts, so I'm really free to do whatever I want. So, the audition part was like the 20 audition that I had. So like the very last one, as always, you never have to give up on the first one. Otherwise, you're not gonna reach the goal. So you just gotta keep doing it. Like bad auditions, you go and you're really sad, and then one day you find the perfect audition, and that was pretty much the story. From there, we had a lot of from the album. We had like 3 tours: India, South America, Europe, Greece as well, and so we really have a lot of fun every time. The music scene in Italy is kind of difficult right now. I mean, right now it's a tough moment for everybody, as everybody knows. But in Italy, we don't have so many auditions, so it's the PR thing and like be in the right place in the right time. It's very important here. Pop music has the first position and the richest pay. I mean, of course, the most paid gigs are the pop gigs here, but there's a nice influence from the south part of Italy, because they used to have so many dominations in the past. So there are like some Arabic or like some Spanish influences. So everything is mixed. So you can find a lot of influences, different bands, alternative rock, world music. So you really enjoy every kind of style. And there are some amazing venues, so like the ancient theaters. So you actually never get bored. It's very tough to get into the nice, the good business, because everybody wants to keep their job, because there's not so many gigs around. So you really got to be able to be a nice person together with a good musician. I mean, right now being a good musician is like 40% or 50. Let's be positive. the 50%, and the rest is like how to you interact with people. I mean, as everywhere in the world, but in Italy, you really gotta be, into the loop to work. And different from the US, that maybe they have more auditions, so you have more chances maybe to get into some nice gigs, from nowhere. And but there is always a mix in between the quality. I mean, for me, there's always a mix of quality of life and quality of the music, because we are musicians. We live for the music, but we live also for having friends and the person that we want, and being inspired, because we don't have a steady job and you have to do that thing. We gotta be inspired to be unique or to be a good musician. So it's very important to find the place that you love and the music that you like. And so far, I'm kind of happy of what I have here. I always feel like I want to be everywhere, because there is always something that I'm missing. So I really enjoy traveling and being around the world. But it's always nice to be home and see, your persons, and have the musicians that you like in your bands or in other bands. But there is a particular vibe that keeps me really inspired in everything I do. So the first endorsement that I got was with Vic Sticks in 2005. I was 23, and I was doing a TV show, and they believed in me, and that was my first endorsement. And I endorsed Vic from 7 years now, almost 8. And I'm really happy with the sticks, because this is the first stick that I bought when I was 13, and I kept playing Big for all my life, basically. So I'm really happy about that. And then I went with Yamaha drums, and it's pretty much the same story as Bigfoot, because my first drum set was a Yamaha Rock and Roll, like very rock and roll drum set. Cheap, but I really felt in love with the sound and the way you can set up the drum set, and it's very versatile, so you can basically play whatever you want, and works perfectly with mics and in the studio. I mean, everybody knows the 9000, the recording custom. So I play Yamaha drums from 2008 after the record with Greg Howe, and they called me, and I was really happy because I just kept playing what I was playing before. and I'm extremely happy because Yamaha has nice drums, makes nice drums, and for me the best hardware, pedals, even the mic for the bass drum, the sub kick, and so I don't need to go somewhere else. So it's everything in Yamaha. So I really feel lucky, and I really love the company because behind a huge multinational, everybody knows that Yamaha is huge, but there is always a nice person taking care of you. So the how you say the support is very important for an artist. Sometimes more than the product. So, and they have both. And then I got endorsed by Paiste cymbals. That was my main surprise because I used to play a lot of cymbals and Paiste as well, but I didn't really get into the super top models, because we know that Paiste are pretty expensive, but I didn't know the very heart of the products. So I tried many cymbals, and then I went to the 20 series. There is actually like a medium series, but they have like the best heads. So I use 3 different heads from the 20 series, so like 13, 14, and 15. And sometimes I use the 16 as well. And then I use dark energies, especially with the ride, the Mark II Dark Energy 21 as the most versatile ride because it's heavy, so it has the ping, but it has the sustain, the bell is nice, so really nice in the studio and for everything. And I use some fast crashes, the signatures, and then I have some traditional that is very nice to use with some jazz gigs or like more instrumental stuff or soft. And then from last year I'm using these 20 Master series, the rides that are really unique, and I'm using this Dark Ride 22, and I'm really amazed. When I first played this cymbal at the NAMM show and at the Music Mess, I was like, wow. So the cymbal does everything by himself. So it really, so it's like so full, the sound. So you just need to crash it one time, and it's like it's one sound. So it's not just an accompanying; it's a sound himself. And so that one sometimes changed my playing as well. So the cymbals are really important. So I feel really comfortable now playing Paiste. And I'm super, super happy about the company because they are from Switzerland, so that they are way more precise and on time than me, that I'm not on time all the time. And most recently I got with Evans heads with my good friend Marco Soccoli. He's now the A&R, the rep for the artists in US and worldwide. And he made me try so many heads, like pretty much every head they have. And I found out that Evans is very experimental with heads. So they have some very weird heads sometimes to look, and you try, and it's amazing, like the hybrid that I was telling you about. So from the Kevlar heads to the like so many different sizes and so many models. So I really can find my own voice for every drum set I play, and I have different drum sets. So every time, I really find the true voice for the style, and so I'm really happy. And I play basically the usual models that I use are G2s, clear for like pop stuff, with some easy reso on the bottom heads, and I use EMEDs or sometimes the EQ3. It depends. And I use this amazing head for the snare. It's called Power Dot Reverse. They feel perfect because the center gives you the like more fat sound, and then you get the all the overtones. So it's not really close sound, but it's you can really do whatever you want. And yeah. That is and then I use forgot. And then I use also Namba gear. I have some backpack endorsement. Those are probably the most important when you travel all around. You have your laptop safe, and that's about it. My plans for the future, well, the very close future now is this new record with Greg Howe, and we have a vocal album ready for October, November, so fall 2012, and it's gonna be a very big change for Greg and for us because now it's gonna be more like a band, and it's gonna be big change. So I hope everybody likes this new style that we are approaching. And so there are gonna be some tours, so more live shows and some other stuff with Greg. And we'll see with Shayna what comes because Shayna is pregnant right now, so she's gonna be a mother, and so it's a big change for her as well. And then with my band, we are working on this new album, and hope to play more. And then I don't know. I really like to travel, so I don't know where I'm gonna be. I hope in Italy and working worldwide. That is my dream, but it's not always easy to do that. So I'm looking around for some European cities and US as well. So I don't know where I'm gonna be, but definitely I'm gonna be traveling all around. And my future plans are always to play good music, no matter what's the style, but just quality and good people. That's what I want. Well, my tip for drummers, it's very simple because everybody said everything about drums technique and stuff. So of course I'm not gonna say about technique, but the only thing that I learned, for like traveling and being with different cultures, the only common thing is that, of course, you can be like the best drummer in the world, but because you are playing when you are in a tour, so you are 2 hours on stage and 22 hours with the other persons. So being a good musician is the first thing. It's mandatory now with all the great level that we have worldwide. But definitely just keep your feet on the ground and just be a good person. Be patient, because you need a lot of patience. And just try to be the nicest person you can, and so the mix is gonna be the perfect recipe to be a touring musician or session musician or a good teacher, and there you need a lot of patience as well. And so just this, being a nice person all around in every aspect. Gianluca Palmieri for YouGroove. How much was it? Half an hour?
25 minutes.